Hey everybody, what is happening? Dela, and welcome back to my personal Rams ebook. It's what I've been running all year. This is going to be episode number 4 in the series. We are now getting into the shotgun formations, probably what most people are interested in. Feel free to go back and check out the single back stuff, I-form stuff. It's pretty nice also. But we're going to get right into the split ram. This is going to be number 1 of 10. We're only going to get a few of these in today, so there's going to be a couple more parts to the shotgun stuff. I have to get a little bit more in depth into especially this first play that I run just because I want to show variations and stuff that can apply to other parts. So this is the Y circle. This play came about when actually I started running the Gronkowski first review that I did of him, and I developed most of the plays out of this formation at that time. We're going to take the X receiver. We're going to put him on a streak. We're going to take RB, which is going to be your tight end in this formation. He's in the backfield. We're going to motion him out left. I'm then going to, normally I'm going to block Y. I'm going to put the B receiver on an in. The 5 guys blocking is normally not enough, so I like to block the running back on this one. I really do key on the running back here. You can look at the X for the first read in case he does blow the top off, but normally the RB followed by the B are really what I'm looking for. And as you can see, it looks like if it could be covered, he normally hits it. I accidentally threw that as an outside pass lead and threw it out of bounds, but he's open on that one. If it up pass lead, actually would have been perfect on that play. So again, here we're going to take X. Put him on a streak, motion B left. I like to block Y. You can leave it open, as I'll show you here. And on a couple plays I will, and then B in. But I prefer to block the running back, as I said. We'll go back and I'll show you other stuff that you can do with the running back in other versions. There we go again. It takes a little bit of time to develop on this play. So again, if you're going to guys heavy blitzing, if you're expecting to blitz, this is not what I'm going to use in that. If you've got time though, this play kills it. Now, I normally don't get too much into computer stuff, but I mean this just decimates the computer in any place. It's most every coverage except for some like cover 2 sync stuff. And there's the Y, like I said, showing you just out of that coverage. I'm going to show you some variations of this here in a bit, because the only issue that you'll have by running this, if you beat a couple guys with this play, and you're going to beat him with Gronk coming out, the way that the play is set up, it's kind of easy to spot after a couple times. Now, if a guy is a good user, he will eventually pick up on this play just because of out of the motion that you have. So you've got to develop a couple other things to run with it. But that being said, here we're getting to just like I say, the running on the route running on the tight end on this play will definitely come into effect. Gronk isn't the highest, but because of that, you'll notice that he takes different depths at times, and the different spots basically in coverage, he's going to hit the hole a little differently. So sometimes you want to hit this play right when he makes his cut, and sometimes you want to let it get down the sideline a little bit. So that's just something. Run this a handful of times, like I'm showing you here. Run it a handful of times. You will get the feel for it. I'm showing this a little bit more just because. Really is a great play to run. It really is. Again, unless you get a strong user against you, this play kills it. So run it a few times a game. And when I need clutch plays, you've seen the videos. This is the one I burn them on from time and time again. Now, you can also take the running back on this one. The tight end out of the backfield, motion him to the right. If you do that, I'm going to take A. I'm going to put him on an in. And this is what I mean about some of the variations. You can take this stuff and apply it to different plays. I'm showing you. I can't do this with everyone because everything would take just way too long. And these are already, the series is going to be long enough as it is. So we got the A coming on a drag. The N, the drag will be too quick because, again, it's all about the timing on your reads here. This one, I don't really look at the B. So this one, I think if you motion them right, it kind of turns into a 2-step where I'm going to look at the A and the RB in there. But you can see right there, he's going to find that nice little hole. And also the good thing about the N, it holds the linebacker there, and he'll come in just a little bit, which that's all you need is that little window right there. Pass leads kind of watch out because, again, sometimes he throws behind. I've noticed that on sometimes. Sometimes the pass leads don't work where they're supposed to just because of the positioning of the routes and some of the angles. I got beat, and some games throw interceptions because I was running a drag across the field. He got to the near the sidelines, and I still threw a lead to the sidelines, and I threw it behind him. So sometimes the game is flawed like that to where you don't need a lead at all. So, again, that's why I recommend really when you run these plays, get the timing down in practice mode and get the leads down then, because really when you're going to run a pocket passer for the majority of the stuff that I'm showing you, which is probably more ideal, you're going to want to get a feel for that because precision accuracy is always going to be important and when you're running a pocket passer, and that's what you have them for. And throw power. Can't stress that one enough. You've got to have at least like a 97. I really recommend that. I do not like guys that are lower, because some of the plays you're going to run, like here we go. This is the off to the left side. Some of these like C routes and stuff like that, you don't want the ball hanging in the air long. That's when guys can pick it if they got good players out there. So this is the other version. Like I said, if people start seeing you running that, we're not going to look at Gronk here when we motion him out this time. We're just going to basically take the A, we'll put him on an in, and that route, that C route, is going to be open a lot. It's very tough to cover that route in this game. I don't show a lot of plays with that. Same as some of the comeback routes and stuff. It's very tough to cover without using or putting a purple below it. It kills the man out there. It kills cover 3 stuff a lot. So just know that. So again, if they start keying in on the number 1 play we're running, this, use this. Y is going to be your first read in this play, and then you're going to look at that C route. And then you're going to look at the route coming across the in. So it's going to be, on this one, it's just simple Y with the X followed by the A. And if they have nobody in the flats, just take it. Again, when we start killing flats and people don't, because if you look at a lot of times when people start blitzing heavy on you, that's the spot that they vacate. They normally are only running the deep blues and the yellows, so they will leave these open, and that's why I tend to show these in some of the other formations a lot. I mean, that's why in a lot of them they're the first read because they're the first one to open. That's all that is. It's timing. So again, but the X route on these is pretty good. So, you know, if you need the yardage, you can sometimes bypass that running back and just look for that X route and then watch the A afterwards. So now with all that, sorry, I know that one took a bit to get into. So we're going to get into the PAF slide. Again, we're in the gun split ram. This is 1 of 10 out of the formation. The PAF slide. Now this one is I began running this one as more just a modified quick screen. It was just a little shovel pass play. And then I started developing different things. So this one's not the typical read. You're looking at man coverage first off the bat, and you'll see guys fly into Y and A. If they run at Y and A when this play breaks, you're going to look at RB, and he's going to be open almost every time. The way the route runs, man coverage normally doesn't stop it. So that's actually what I'm looking at first, even though it's not by design. But you'll see, and right here, the computer does it right away. They both take off towards those guys, and I'm going to hit the man read. And on that play, we take it out. Normally, it's a decent gain on that because you're not going to have as much coverage out there because they're running the man. And they might have a cover 2 over the top, stopping you from getting the touchdown. But either way, that's what I'm looking for first on these plays. Again, so the first read, even it's man coverage. I'm looking for coverage first more than that. And then it's going to be RB if I get that. And again, they do the same thing. So I've got to go back out to the RB here. So after that, so once the play develops, if you don't see them chasing, if they're not chasing your guys out of the backfield, and I'm going to look at Y here for my short play. And then this is kind of, like I said, it's a modified screen. It looks really nice because you've got the tight end going out blocking for you if you throw this. He'll go out, pick the block, just kind of look at the guy he's attacking and go that direction, however you want to run it. I'm not really trying to bust all these moves and break everything. I'm just trying to show you how the plays are developed here. Again, there he goes. You see the tight end makes a nice block. Normally you got one guy to beat, and you've got an easy 10 yards, sometimes more. Again, if you've already read that first one, because the only thing that really shuts this down off the bat is man coverage. You know, they'll fly out there and you won't get a big gain. Now, here's the other benefit of this. This is your third read, the A. If you let it develop, you can. You can let this develop. He normally gets a big chunk down here. And there's 2 ways to run this. Depending on if they're running QB contain, then you stay in the pocket and you know, you watch that A route. Again, that's only if the other ones don't work. There we go with a nice little double juke. And now, the other way I'll do, Brady has enough speed to pull this off. And you see, I like to run out to the right, get in line with the A. See, on that one, it wouldn't have been a good pass to throw from the coverage because the man probably would have batted that and intercepted it. But when you roll out to the right with it, you open that side of the field. Very nice, very easy play. So that's the other thing. If I don't have man off the bat, I'm looking at the contain, looking at what my right tackle is doing in here. If he's got his man, by all means, I can stretch that out to the right and roll out if I want to, if I don't want to hit the Y pass early, if I'm looking for a deep play. So you've got some variations you can run with this depending on what the coverage is doing and what you're seeing and kind of where you're going to go, because a lot of the times, like this one, I still could have hit the Y on that one. So it's just as it breaks, you kind of have to see the flow of that play. It's not the typical read and reads like right off the bat. You really is dependent on the coverage in there. So just try to get a feel for that. Take advantage of what you're doing. This is the Y shallow cross out of here. Again, this is going to be a heavy tight end formation for me. I get a lot of good plays out of the tight end here. So on this one, all I'm going to do is take the A receiver and put him on a flat. Okay, I don't really mess with the B. The B is very tempting here, but it gets a lot of interceptions. Trust me on that. So on this one, A is your first read. He's open. You know, easy little play. You're going to get the 5 to 10 typically. What I'm looking for here, though, is once he goes, normally he's going to bring the flat defender out with him, and it leaves Gronk. If you see it open up right around, you know, the yard where it says the 40-yard liner, so you see this open up right there, just like that. Boom. As soon as he hits that turn in there, I'm going to bullet it in there, and he's easy. 10, 12 yards. This play's good for that. I'm not trying to get a ton of yards. And why is the third read on that? If the first two don't look good, they man the guys out, running them out there. Y is normally going to always be open as your third read. So again, we're going to go with an A to the RB and then to the Y. Again, I'll take those all day if that's what they're going to give out there, unless, of course, I'm in a situation where I have to get bigger yards. But again, this is more of a 10-yard, any way you cut it sort of play. Maybe about 5 or 6 on the running back, unless you can cut up and make a good, juke afterwards or something like that. So we're not going deep here. But again, not everything needs to be. You can't do that. Sometimes you've got to hit these sides because, again, as I said before, this is the stuff that it'll get guys to change their coverage. They'll start running after you. They'll start sending other guys. You know, they'll start trying to use your stuff like that. And if you do that, you're going to find yourself open for other plays down the road. And again, that B play, why that one leads to interceptions a bit is because, again, I think route running has a lot to do with it in there. But they'll bounce that in different directions as he's running the route. So you'll see that route ran like 5 different ways, and it looks good a lot of times. And I have hit it before, but over time, you're going to throw picks. So, again, I just stick away from it. And okay, I'm now into the gun wings trip formation. This is the wide receiver's corner play. Again, this is 2 of 10. The gun wings trip weak formation. Wide receiver corner right off the bat. We're going to put that outside receiver right there. You just saw, put him on streak. He's going to be our first read. Pretty much his cover 2 is about the only thing you're going to see in there. So we're going to put him, the B on the streak, and I'm going to take X. I'm going to put him on the drag. I will block Y on this one myself, but he blocks and releases normally. So, again, that's just optional for you, whatever you want to do. Again, right there, we'll see him again. They're giving me a couple cover 2 looks. You don't see it often, but if, again, that's why it's the first read. But we're really looking to hopefully hit that B over the top on a cover 3. We hope to keep the coverage down below with that X receiver. If not, pull them down just to give us the space on it. If you saw a few videos back a couple weeks ago, I had that one great game that I put out there, and that was actually that Fitz play that I hit at the very end of the game. That was this play. And I had just it was one I hadn't ran a bunch before, but it's pretty dang effective in there. A nice formation. This is the stock version of it also, so you'll run this on the other way, and nice. On the other side of it, you're basically going to be looking at X and A. And you can bring a B across on an in route, just for the, again, a little bit delayed because of that. So that's the difference between when I'll drag somebody versus in is I need the timing right, as we said before on some of the other videos. So you want to get your progressions 1, 2, 3 set up to where they break in that order, in a sense, if you can, when you're developing plays. So that's at least what I'm trying to do there. You see both of these open quite a bit. I don't run the stock version a ton. Usering will normally pull them around the A route, so that's typically the one you're going to see. So computerized or guys who don't use it very well, you can hit the tight end one. Now we're going to go back into again, we're in the gun wing trips week again. This is number 2 here. This would be the ISO drag formation out of this, and so you can see some of the other stuff in here. This one may not be one that I run a ton out of, just kind of these couple plays. There's about 3 plays I kind of use out of that as far as the passing goes. But the ISO drag here, which looks a little bit like some of the other, we have some other plays along these lines. I'm going to take the X receiver, I'll put him on a streak, and I'm going to take the B receiver again, and I will pretty much bring him in. You can do a drag, you can do an in route depending on how those go. Sometimes these A routes, as we said before, can be a little bit slower to develop, and the way this one reads, it's a 1A 1B sort of situation. I'm going to look at the A receiver followed by that RB, and I kind of just watch them both around the time where they both make those cuts. I kind of watch that area and see who really breaks out of that open. That's really what I'm looking for the 2. So it's not like a distinct one I'm looking for as a 1 receiver. So those are my first reads in there. And again, followed by the B one. And I think I run him in this one on a drag or not. But really, that one is more beneficial to put on a in route, honestly, the way that it's going to develop. And on any of these, on this one, for example, I could have running a press type coverage in there. On any of these, when you're running streaks out there, if you know the coverage is right compared to what you see, even though you know the reads I'm showing you, you hit that streak. So we've got a decent amount of plays that will have streaks that we're not necessarily looking at, but when the coverage dictates it. If they're coming up, they're pressing, you don't see it, and you've got that single shot, and you've got like a Mike Evans, Calvin guy type receiver out there, by all means try and bypass that from time to time. I like to take a few pops down there through a game just to keep the coverage honest, right? And this will be the last play out of the shotgun wing trips week. This is the motion wide dig. On this one, basically on this play, you see I'm taking the outside B receiver. I'm going to put him basically on a comeback route. You can take... This one is kind of a double-sided, so you kind of got to figure which side you want to go to. Really, if you're going to run to the right side, you want to run to that one. You're going to want to take the RB. I like to do and throw him on a flat route just to give you another option. But as you can see, these first couple ones, without doing that play is still open pretty well. And on this one, I'm going to show you that if you don't do that, those plays they run really close together. Those routes. I mean, if you look at the play at the beginning, you wouldn't think that, but it does. And of course, the running back wide receiver normally gives you a real nice up left pass lead. The way the coverage is, and especially if you got like a linebacker on the guy right there, he goes, he stops, and again, boom, I hit that corner. That's pretty effective. Cover 3 stuff, not necessarily, but anything else in there, that one's going to pretty much torch out on that side. As you can see, you can just hit that one time again, and it's just an up and left pass lead out there. Now, this one again, I mean, it's going to determine. You're going to have to kind of pick which side you want to go on. If you want to try to read it all, by all means, go ahead. But for the most part, I'm going to decide either one. And they're both going to be, like I say, on this one, there's the A and the flat. It's going to be an A to the B. And then that RB on both of these is going to be your third read. But the comebacks are really hard. Unless they got purples on them and stuff like that, they're hard to stop this game. Even though I'm not showing you a ton of those, that stuff you probably already all know by now. So again, there you see this time and time again, and any other coverages out there, that running back coming out on the left-hand side is going to pretty much torch those guys. So on that one, I'm going to be looking on the left side. It's going to be a Y with an X and A. So this play, we've got 2 ways to run. Depends on which side of the field you want to attack. Typically, I like to go to the open side, the side you have more no room to run these plays on. So that you can just do it that way. Basically, is a good way to decide offhand. And that's going to wrap up the first part of this shotgun series. There's definitely going to be more to come on this. Keep an eye out. I thank you all for checking this out, and I will see you next time.